Hey there, I am back with another deck review, and today we're going to be looking at Apoteosi from Thirdway Industries. Now, those of you who know me know that Giovanni Meroni, the designer behind Thirdway Industries, is my favorite in the industry. His decks are always beautiful, and they're filled with immersive stories and mythologies that really bring them to life in ways that other designers really can't match. I'm a huge fan of almost everything that he's created, but this one was really something interesting. This is actually a sequel to one of my favorite decks from last year. In fact, it was number 2 on my 2020 decks, and that is this one over here, Apocalisse. Now, you'll obviously right off the bat see some of the similarities, but these are part of a cycle. So depending on how you look at it, this is either the sequel or the prequel to Apocalisse. Where Apocalisse followed basically the story of Revelation from the Bible and the end of the world, the ultimate destruction of the world, Apoteosi is about its birth or its rebirth. And so it's this continual cycle of birth and destruction of the earth over time. Really interesting, great source material for it. Apoteosi looks at the first book of the Christian Bible, the book of Genesis, whereas Apocalisse looks at the last of the book of Revelation. So love the inspiration behind it and was super excited to get a hold of this one and check it out. So let's dive right into it. Now, you saw a lot of the similarities between the two decks, but there's definitely a few differences as well that help Apoteosi stand apart. They're both done on this really cool textured black cardstock. You can see some of that kind of marbling texture on there, kind of this rough pebbled texture on it. And it's covered with 2 different colors of foil as well as embossing all the way through. It has the gold foil and then the holographic foil. Great combination. Love the contrast on this one. Apoteosi written in nice small letters. Apoteosi is actually Italian for aposteosi, which kind of in keeping with one of the themes of creation in the Bible, is this idea of mankind elevated to the divine. So according to Genesis, man was created in God's own image, and so that's fitting, an interesting name for it overall. But love the glow of the holographic foil, contrasts really nicely with the gold, have the line work and design elements all the way through. Name of the deck written on both sides of the tuck case. And then you have some ad copy on the bottom for Giovanni Meroni, as well as Cardamundi, who printed these decks out in Belgium. The back here is going to be just sort of a foiled and embossed version of the back design of the cards. Get another great look at those 2 different colors of foil. Top here just says Apoteosi with a few more design elements, and it's finished out with this goldish holographic seal here with the symbol of Apoteosi, that sun emblem in the diamond, and it's individually numbered. So I have number 1177 out of the about 3,000 deck edition of the standard deck. As you open it up, more holographic elements, including MMXX, the Roman numerals for 2020 when the deck was sent to print. More little small design elements on the inner flaps, and the interior of the tuck case is given a brilliant treatment with bright gold detailing. Big bold symbol of Apoteosi there, and the foiling continues all the way down the tuck case. Really nicely done. Love this tuck case. Love how it pairs with Apocalisse. They really look great together on a shelf. But that's the tuck case. Let's take a look at the cards, and we'll start as we usually do with the back design. Continuing with the holographic foil, this is done with a flood foiling technique. The entire back is covered in holographic foil, so you get that brilliant rainbow glow as you tilt it in the light all the way to the edges of the card. And then the ink that you see here is printed on top of the holographic foil. So with that holographic base layer, if you will, the entire card, even the parts that are printed, kind of have a little bit of a glow to them. The yellow ink here looks almost gold foil, almost like gold foil in the light. Really great effect overall, and one that keeps a kind of smooth, nice handling card as well. Get the nice 2-way back design, more depictions of the symbol of Apoteosi, and lots of line work that's really characteristic of Giovanni Meroni's art style. Really nice back design, very striking. Let's get into the rest of the deck. We'll start out by looking at the aces. So the Ace of Spades is definitely the power ace of this deck, but each one of the aces is kind of printed in a different metallic ink. So lots of metallics used on this one. You have silver on the Ace of Spades, gold on the Ace of Diamonds and Hearts, and then a green metallic on the Ace of Clubs. Ace of Spades, most prominent, has that big black spade pip, which is a tiny accent of red, and then the silver lady in the background. Beautiful depiction of her with the wings all around her, and then the name of the deck, Apoteosi, in the background. Really nicely done, has that great ethereal look and just a super shiny metallic ink that's used here. You can see if I tilt in the light, it just really kind of has this ethereal glowing look. And I like when the light hits it, just how much those little red elements like her lips just suddenly pop out. The other three aces don't have characters on them, but kind of hint at one of the themes of the deck or the themes of each one of the suits. The hearts represent peace. Of course, you have that golden dove in the center. The clubs represent life, depicted by the leaves or the branches there in the center. And the diamonds represent abundance. You have the food and drink depicted in the middle with that gold metallic. Really nice aces. The number cards are all custom and impressive as well. They have the foil design in the back, or the metallic design in the background. Really thin line work that again glows in the light. And then the black pips that are outlined in their own little bit of silver metallic as well. Custom pips, custom indices in the corner, but they're both really nice and easy to read as you go through. So I think it still keeps it a fairly functional deck if you wanted to use it for gameplay or something like that, while at the same time giving you a little something special. The hearts now have the gold metallic background, just like the Ace of Hearts did. And then as you go into the clubs, you get that green metallic, my favorite of the colors on this one. It's just such a interesting color that you don't see used that often. So the clubs are my favorite of the suits in this one. And then into the diamonds and back to some more gold metallics on these. So that's the number cards, beautifully done. But the story of Giovanni Meroni's decks are always told in the Jokers and the Court cards. So we're going to take a look at those next. And we start right where Apocalisse left off. So I mentioned Apocalisse was about basically the destruction of the entire earth in the book of Revelation. But as those demons destroyed the entire earth, killed mankind, they eventually attacked heaven itself, and there they were met with the first of our Jokers. This is the Guardian. The Guardian was the last, basically the final frontier, the last battle for the demons as they fought in heaven, and she was the one who ultimately stopped their assault. Brilliant gold on this one. Her shield was said to be made from the sun itself. In fact, you can see a little depiction of that Apocalisse symbol there, right there on her shield in the red and gold. Beautiful look to her overall, and so the first of our major characters. But once she was able to save the earth, now the earth has to be reborn and recreated. And so we start to tell that story through the club courts. And first, obviously, in order to create the world, you have to cleanse it of all the dead bodies. And so the Jack of Clubs is the demon Purge, who was sent to cleanse the earth of all of the corpses from the war, basically leaving it as a clean slate. All the courts are going to be beautifully designed, all unique looks to them. They all have this sort of almost evil or dark appearance to them, but then they're accented by lots of metallic ink. So in the case of clubs, again, we're going to follow just like we did with the other cards. They're done in this green metallic. But here's the first of ours. This is the Demon Purge. And then next up, the Angel of Life descended, planted a single seed. You can see that seed over here on the side. And that was the seed that started the process of rebirth. And the King of Clubs, the Archangel of Creation, kind of picked things up and shaped all living beings on earth, beginning with a single little green snake as its first creation and culminating with the creation of mankind. Love this one. This is one of my favorite of the court cards. Love the mixture of metallics here too. You get a little bit of gold and green in there. But as the Archangel created mankind, his first two creations were, you probably have seen this part of the story before, but Adam and Eve. So the next two Jokers make an appearance as sort of major characters in this story, the first two humans. So Adam was created first, here with the green metallic background, the vines all around him, and you can see the scar on his chest where a single rib was removed to make a companion for him, and that is Eva here. Eva is one of the characters that Giovanni Meroni's actually depicted the most through all of his decks. Great source material for him, and you can see her there clutching the apple that was obviously a big part of her story. I really like the red background, the red hair just really pops out on this card. So there's Adam and Eva. All right, now we continue on with creation. So the first two humans have been created, and now the diamonds represent abundance. And so the Jack of Diamonds, this is the demon of wealth who began to grant men the desire to make more in their lives, not be content with just having life itself, but looking for ways to kind of exceed beyond that. So like the coins over there representing wealth. Next up is the Queen of Diamonds. This is a golden angel, prosperity, who began to fill the fields with food and even planted the famous apple tree in the Garden of Eden, forbidding mortals to eat the fruit. You can see the apple there as a symbol of her creation. And the King of Diamonds, finally the Archangel of Abundance, taught man to rebuild using the riches of earth that had been provided. Another really nice ethereal look. That gold metallic really shines against the red on these. All right, now into the Jack of Hearts, and these have a little bit of a darker feel on some of these, but this one is the gift and the curse that came from the Demon of Courage. Demon of Courage taught humans to exceed their limits in the pursuit of greatness, and obviously that was a trait that would kind of help great creations in mankind, but was also probably behind a lot of the wars and strife. And so you can see the kind of bloody and dark feel that courage has, kind of bringing both a gift and a curse. The Queen of Hearts, this is the angel of peace who is also sent, but this time to grant the ability to live in harmony. So the dove, of course, a symbol of peace. Love the kind of subtle hits of red with lots of gold on this one. And the King of Hearts, this is sacrifice, who is sent to teach that good requires at times pain and hardship. I really like the use of sacrifice as the symbol for the traditional suicidal king. So it kind of gives that, uses that sword through the head as a kind of symbol for sacrifice. Very cool card on this one. All right, and then we get to the Spades, and this Jack of Spades, this is the demon of knowledge who revealed the forbidden secrets to mortals, including, I assume, that the secret of the apple tree of knowledge that prosperity had planted. So we'll tie in with the story there. And now we're back to kind of silver metallics on this one, to contrast against that black. All right, the Queen of Spades, the angel of justice, introduced the simplicity of consequence and inspired through fear the knowledge of choosing the right path. You can see there the scales of justice, kind of as a symbol for justice, the angel there. And finally, the Archangel Freedom gave humans the gift of free will over creation. So you can see his sword there symbolically breaking the chains. Really nice look. Love the blindfold, just a really powerful feel to this one. But the story doesn't end there. We come to the last of our four jokers. This, even as these beings left the mortals alone on earth, there was a single beautiful archangel, said to be the most beautiful of all the archangels, who waited and watched silently, the Archangel of Light. Maybe a symbol of the cycle eventually going to, kind of continue again. So the archangel may be the one who kind of brings about the next Apoteosi, or the next apocalypse. So very cool culmination to the cycle there. Really nice feel to them overall. A great deck of cards, beautiful artwork as always, and I'm equally impressed with the handling on these. I will say, Cardamundi always does a phenomenal job with foil. Doesn't detract from the handling in the slightest. These are done in their slimline stock with that true linen finish that they're so famous for, and it handles so smooth right out of the box. Fans nicely, cuts beautifully overall. But that is not all. So that is the Apoteosi deck, but there was a lot more that came with the campaign. I want to show off a few of those things as well. The first thing is the second, more limited deck of the series. There were only about 800 of these printed. This is the Heaven's Gift deck. So Apoteosi Heaven's Gift. Now, obviously, you'll notice right off the bat some of the different colors on the tuck case itself. Same basic design, but instead of the holographic in gold, this one's done in holographic and a pale blue. And I'll be honest, I don't like the tuck case on this as much. It's a really nice look to it overall. It definitely has an elevated look, but compared to the standard has just better contrast on it. So I prefer the standard one a little bit, but the Heaven's Gift one is pretty nice as well. And as you open it up, so it does have that numbered tuck seal as well. You'll see a change in the brilliant holographic foil on the interior of the tuck. It's the same design, but now it's done in holographic instead of gold. And you may have seen a peek of the most impressive feature, and that's the beautiful holographic gilding that's been added to the cards. The cards themselves are the same, but the addition of holographic foil or holographic gilding really just sort of elevates this to the next level. Love the little wavy pattern that's created on these. Just kind of gives it a nice sparkle as you hold these up. Really impressive feel to it. Nice smooth gilding, nicely executed. So that is the Heaven's Gift deck that's sort of paired with Apoteosi. There were a few other extras in the campaign, just fun things, you know, if you were a part of it. One of the ones that I loved picking up, this is the carrot case that came with it. So this is the Apoteosi case. Has the same design as the tuck case on the front, and it's on this black custom carrot case. So these come from Carrot Case Creations. You can see the very slightly translucent black tuck case closed up with those neodymium magnets, and as you open it up, you're going to keep one of the decks inside. So I have a second Heaven's Gift deck inside. So really nice carrot case, great work by Carrot Case Creations in these. Their same classic quality to them, but the beautiful etching on the front and that black tuck case, really striking. And with a lot of Giovanni's campaigns, you can also pick up pins and coins. So I got one of each. You have the little lapel pin here with the symbol of Apoteosi on it, and the beautiful coins. These come from Coins by Anything, or Coins by Anything, Coins for Anything, I think it's called, and features a depiction here of prosperity, I believe this is, on the front of the tuck case, or of the coin. Beautiful 2-inch coin with nice deep engraving on it, beautiful symbol. And if you turn it over to the tail side, you have that symbol of Apoteosi depicted on the back. Really nice heavy coins done in this gold color. Just really nice coins. Always great on these. I'm trying to pick up all the coins. I have most of them, but there's still a few of them that I'm missing in my collection. So that is the coin that came with it as well. So overall, phenomenal package as always from Giovanni Meroni. He does a great job with these decks. You know, they're decks that I'm sure you could use for gameplay or Magic, but these, like a lot of his decks, are first and foremost collector's decks, meant to look beautiful on a shelf, meant to have, you know, cards that you can come out and appreciate all of the artwork and the stories that go into them. Just fabulously done overall. So kudos to Giovanni on another great deck. But hope you enjoyed this look at Apoteosi. Stay tuned for more great decks. Make sure you subscribe for more deck reviews and unboxings, and let me know what else it is that you want to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.